Thank you, Mr. President. Just a day before the Russian full-scale invasion of Ukraine started, you were in Kiev, together with President of Poland, showing support and solidarity. Since then, as you were saying in your speech, Lithuania is among the leading countries in Europe and the world in supporting Ukraine's defensive effort, because we consider that to be our defense as well, defense of common values and ideas. Nevertheless, the aggression continues, and we are approaching the 4th anniversary of the full-scale invasion, and even a longer term when we look at 2014, when Crimea was annexed. Now we have a lot of rumors spreading around, unconfirmed reports about peace plans, some talking points that could be considered amongst all the sides, and there is obviously a lot of concern where that could lead the political process of all of it. And obviously, it's difficult to comment about unconfirmed information, but maybe you could tell just a couple of words about the supposedly leaked peace plan and some of the frameworks that could be considered in the nearest future with regards to Ukraine.
Probably this is not the best way for the president to comment the rumors, but yes, we received some signals that there are some ideas behind to proceed and to go to the negotiations table, but I would like to remind you very much core principle of every discussion on the peace. Nothing about Ukraine without Ukraine. So simple as that. And any ideas which will put the Ukraine in the position of the weak side are not acceptable, and we cannot tolerate that efforts. I think what is jumping out in the public area about the possible ideas, we are talking about possible or potential reduction of Ukrainian armed forces, territorial concessions, and some other decisions which would, of course, mean actual capitulation of Ukraine. And we should use this momentum to express very strong will and strong opinion of European, first of all, European community, that we should find the formula which preserves Ukrainian territorial integrity and, of course, gives some security guarantees looking ahead. If the Ukrainian armed forces will be reduced by 50%, what security guarantees provides this to Ukraine? And it's very difficult to understand such idea. Yes, we can provide security guarantees ourselves as a community, as concrete countries, but then we must have very important elements of these security guarantees. And I think the backup or backstop of United States is essential in that sense. So I look forward to see the document, and I look forward to see the Ukrainian reaction. And of course, the voice of European community must be strong. We cannot sit aside and just comment the peace plans. We should take active role, and this is our historic chance to do it.
Mr. President, Nordic Baltic countries are among the leading ones in supporting Ukraine, and that's been consistent for many years. There's also probably closer cooperation than ever amongst the Nordic Baltic countries in a variety of formats, the European Union and now NATO, with Sweden and Finland joining the alliance. Why is that so important for Lithuania? How do you see this priority of regional cooperation? Does it kind of complement bigger alliances such as NATO and the European Union, or maybe it's a competition where the focus is on?
The first element, like-mindedness. We are like-minded countries, and this is the basis to build up our cooperation. And actually, it activated after the Finland and Sweden joined the NATO, because now we are the area of Baltic Sea. And we have a lot of issues to discuss. And actually, this morning, we already communicating between the presidents and the prime ministers of NB8 format about these new plans regarding the peace. and what might be the NB8 reaction, because we are first and we are most decisive in that sense to react, to express our opinion, and in such a way contribute to European decision-making. This is not the key issue that some of NB8 countries are not the members of European Union, because in the field of defense and security, this is not the key issue. The most important issue is, of course, the very clear and strong position on the war in Ukraine and on the support to Ukraine. And Norway and Iceland, other countries, just going ahead, and really I admire the role of those countries in the process.
In the speech, you also mentioned the German brigade. So I wanted just to, for you to have an opportunity to emphasize the importance of this project, and maybe you can update the international community on how it is ongoing, the process of deploying a brigade to Lithuania.
Everything is going smoothly, and we are even going ahead of our time schedule in implementing the capabilities of training areas and also preparedness for the coming of German brigade. As you know, as already said, in the inauguration of German brigade, or the first element of German brigade already took place several months ago. Now we are looking forward, and I think that we will do anything possible to implement all the necessary infrastructure elements and to be ready to accommodate and to welcome the full-size German brigade, 5,000 soldiers, officers, by end of 2027. And of course, our partner, United States, remains very important. This is not about replacement of American troops by German troops. No, no way. I think this is very important to keep the focus and to preserve the focus of United States authorities and government in this area, because this area is threatened by Russia and Belarus. And now we enjoy the presence of American troops on a rotational basis. We have very strong and bold host nation support package, and we are even ready to expand it to provide more guarantees, more financial resources for additional troops to come. But of course, it depends on the political decision of White House, and I hope very much that this decision will be positive. And of course, this cooperation with United States partner in other field, for example, energy cooperation. It's very interesting that 30 cargos, LNG cargos, arrived at Klaipėda LNG terminal last year, 2025, and 71% of our import of LNG comes from United States. As Lithuania has implemented the so-called GIPL, or gas interconnector Poland-Lithuania, we are now able to serve as a regional supplier of LNG, not only to Baltic countries, but also to Ukraine. And actually, this is already the reality, that we are supplying the gas through Klaipėda, American gas through Klaipėda, to our friends in Ukraine. And just a few days ago, the direct contract between the Ukrainian company, gas company, and US administration was signed, and the first cargo of LNG came according to this contract to Klaipėda and was supplied, delivered to Ukraine. So those are the examples that United States remains very important transatlantic partner for Lithuania, and this is our priority of our foreign policy, to keep this focus on our country.
Maybe very quickly, the last question. You've mentioned that Europe has to step up. Are you optimistic about that in 2026?
You know, this is, sometimes I'm more optimistic, sometimes not so much, but we don't have the right to be pessimists nowadays. We have to do everything in our hands to get this positive result of these geopolitical turbulences. This is not easy. This requires patience, and of course sometimes it's really difficult to overcome these bureaucratic procedures or these unanimity votings in, no matter in the European Council or in other formats, because of resistance of one or two countries. But probably this is the strong side of European Union, to take the decisions on unanimity principle, no matter how difficult it is. So I think we will have a lot of opportunities to go forward. I expect very much that we will be able to find the way out by looking for a possible start of negotiations on a European Union membership for Ukraine. I am strongly against the decoupling of Moldova and Ukraine in that sense. And I hope that our partners will understand the seriousness of the situation, and we will find all necessary decisions.
On this optimistic note, Mr. President, thank you for being here.
Thank you. Thank you.